So, we're going to be doing something a little bit different in this one. This here is Rebuild 3, a game that I've been wanting to do a review-critique, well, more of a roast, really, but, yeah. This is a game that I've owned for a good while, really wanted to do a review and critique or whatever with it, and, well, I decided, before I do that, to be as fair as humanly possible, I'm going to replay the entire game, and I decided I'm going to film it too. Now, I'm not going to explore, like, every single possible avenue that I don't have to, as in, like, I'm not going to save scum like a lunatic and, like, choose every single individual dialogue option, primarily because I remember 90% of them don't fucking matter. But I will be doing my absolute best to get the best ending, which, well, I'll get to that critique when we get to it. For now, let's just start, shall we? March 3rd, 2016. Wow, this game's old. The beginning of the end. So begins my new life in Seattle, Washington. Now for a fun day waiting for the cable guy to come connect the internet. I've got a couple of TV channels, but they're all showing in news about that crazy biting disease in Amsterdam. Sounds like they finally got it contained. Guess I'll unpack, take a shower, enjoy me some time. Or enjoy some me time. Right off the bat, we are told that our character is a fucking idiot. And that they live in one of the most dystopian places in the United States. Nice. No, that... Alright, well... I'm gonna try my hardest to make it look like... I definitely cannot make this character look like Doppel from Breakers. I'm physically incapable of that. But, I don't know, I guess we'll try to make it look like me as much as possible. So let's see. Is that the palest skin you got? It's not even like pale Snow White. It's more like a jaundice. So I guess this is technically paler though. So that's me. I'm pretty pale. I guess that's just outfits. Let me get that out of the way so I can see a bit better. There we go. Let's see. None of these heads are probably gonna look even remotely close to me. Yeah. So far, not much. No. It's just me, or does that kind of look like Angry Joe? Oh well. I think this is probably the closest looking to me, even though my hair is completely different. I don't have any facial hair. My eyebrows are not that thick. My eyes look completely different. Okay, it doesn't look anything like me, is what I'm trying to say, but that's the closest we're gonna get. Now, something I would actually wear. Let's see. No! Okay. At least I don't lose too much progress there. What's something I would actually wear here? Probably that. Not much customization. I guess that. Anyway, jobs. What do we got? Let's start from the DLC ones. These are the only ones worth picking if you have it. Yeah, this game has DLC. Anywho, Rockstar. Double respect, and you get this thing, which gives you the musician perk. Funny how I haven't played this game in so long, yet I remember so much. Anyway, I'm a delivery boy. Scavenging has car and sword, the driver perk, and probably the best item in the game. Honestly, this perk, if I remember right, was pretty worth it, just because you can't get this car anywhere else, and it's probably the best item to equip. So it's actually not bad. Programmer is... it's borderline overpowered. I kind of don't want to pick it for the sake of the review I'll be doing, just because then otherwise I'll be complaining that the game's too easy. I'll be like, oh man, the game's too easy. My brother in Christ, you picked Programmer, of course it's too easy. Real estate developer, irrelevant, you get that later, so irrelevant. Programmer, this is the only perk in the game that makes the game harder. Which is honestly encouraged, because this game is pretty easy. As long as you know what you're doing, it's pretty easy. Then pretty much none of the ones here are... none of the non-DLC ones are worth it. And even then the DLC ones are the most important ones, just because you can't get their equipment. It's mostly about what equipment you think is more important. I guess we'll go with pizza delivery driver, why not? Just because... normally I'd go with programmer, but that makes the game way too easy. I guess pizza delivery driver just because of the equipment. Why not? March 4th, 2016. Containment failed. The internet guy never came. This morning I woke to what I thought were protesters outside, but I was wrong. So very, very, very wrong. They're fighting in the street down there with their hands and teeth, just tearing into people. I saw a cop shoot a woman in the chest, covered in blood. She just got up and kept fighting. March 5th, 2016. Rise of the Undead. On the news, they're telling us to stay indoors. They keep opening emergency shelters, but every time something goes wrong and it turns into another bloodbath. This infection is spreading so fast. It's in Vancouver and San Francisco now, too. They've shut down the airports before it's too late. It's too late, it's too late, it's too late. Okay, I think, you know what? I think it's too late. March 6th. Venturing outside. I ran out of ramen and soda about the time the TV cut out. Bro, you were living on that? It was finally quiet outside, so I took what survival gear I had and made my way up to the street. The last shelter they'd broadcasted was 10 blocks away at a boys' private school. I made it halfway when I was attacked. Bitten. It was so stupid. I don't know why I didn't have a weapon ready. You know what? At least the guy's self-aware. He is stupid. I guess I thought I could outrun them. I mean, since they're zombies and all, but they're faster than they look. Yeah, keep that in mind for later, lore-wise. Keep that in mind. There's gonna be a lot of contradictions. While I was struggling with one of them, a soldier ran up and pulled it off me. He shot in the head, that stopped it, but it was too late. Too late, too late! I was bit. Sergeant Hester, the hero. Yeah, don't bother remembering that name, because it's gonna become irrelevant very fast. The soldier pulled me into a building where we waited there while the zombies wandered around outside. Then he saw my bite. He drew his gun and said he was gonna make it quick. I knew what the bite meant. I had a day, maybe 2 to live. Again, keep that in mind. But I didn't want to die. I fought with him, and the gun went off. I killed him. I killed a good man. He was trying to help, and I killed him. Oh man, the story's trying too hard. Anyway, after Sergeant Hester... How do you even know what the guy's name is? How do you even know? Like, it doesn't specify that, like, he had a name tag, or, like, ID, or dog tags, or anything. Like, just one quick little throwaway line of, oh, on his dog tags it said Sergeant Hester. Like, that's all you had to say. Didn't even include that? Alright. I guess my guy's just psychic. He just knows people's names by looking at them. He's playing Fallout, I guess. Anyway. After Sergeant Hester's death, things got blurry. I slept beside his body, waiting for the fever to start, waiting to die, but it never came. I snuck my way out of town. I was worried there'd be some repercussion for killing a soldier, but everyone was too busy to care. I've been working my way east through the suburbs on foot, scavenging what I need and avoiding zombie and human alike. Diane Moon. It's been 2 years since the outbreak. Again, keep that in mind, it's been 2 years. Really keep that in mind. I know I keep saying that, but it's going to become very relevant to how bad the story is. I've been keeping to myself, moving from place to place. The few people I take up with seem to disappear or die before long. But I met this woman, Diane. She's different. She wants to stop running, to settle down and build something that'll last, and I'm going to help her. Okay, I know this is based off a real city, but like, how in the world do you say that? Diane found us a small town up in the Cascade Mountains. Lots of food and supplies. Few Zed. I like how they call him Zed, that's how you know this wasn't made by an American. We found a couple other survivors and walled off a few city blocks to start. No more living in fear, hiding like animals. It's time to make a stand. It's time to rebuild. Oh, they said the thing! Alright, anyway. I guess I'm gonna leave all the city names like that for the sake of the review. Easy just for the first one because it's irrelevant. And here we go. There's the tutorial up there if you want to read that, but I know how to play. So, we're just gonna immediately turn that off. I mean, kudos to the game for letting me skip the tutorial. Kudos to that. Anyway, do what I always do here. Get a good look around. Wow, it just makes it sound a little bit high. My bad if you can't really hear too well, but that's really loud in my ears, so... Yep. Oh, right, sorry, I'm spacing out reading. That's a problem with this game, you're gonna space out a lot. Lone Traveler. A woman with a nasty-looking scar and a nastier-looking wolf dog are at the gates. Says she and her dog are just looking for a place to bed down for the night before they continue on. She's got a steady, cold gaze that tells me she's seen some things out there and may have lost some love for humanity along the way. Anyway, always feed her dinner and invite her to stay. You lose 2 food, but the next time someone would get hurt or die, it's a guaranteed rescue, so just a one-time only get out of jail card. Anyway, over dinner, the traveler shared stories of the world to the south. Doesn't sound like they're faring much better down there than we are. A lot of cities are completely leveled in the fighting. She and her dog are headed north in the hopes that colder winters will slow the Zed down. That's another important lore thing. They constantly, well, not constantly, I think it's like twice, they mention how the zombies are slower in the cold. Not really sure how that works, especially since this game takes place almost entirely in the northwest and northwest of the USA and Canada, so yeah. That's gonna get real annoying. My little recording thing is right here, by the way, where I can see the timestamp and the little pause button and shit, so I may end up accidentally hitting one of those. Not good. Not good at all. Then again, that can kind of describe the whole game. The road is long. Diane Moon heard... Okay, yeah, here's a little thing. If that kid ever shows up, send him back out there. I know how that sounds, but children in this game are actually useless. They are just parasites. They can't exist. They are forced onto a random survivor, which 99% of the time, it's always going to be the ones that are the most competent. It's like the game goes out of its way to find your best survivors just to weigh them down. They're completely useless. They make your stats worse. Like, they're just a complete drain. Like, and there's a lot of moments like that in the game where the game tries to guilt you with, like, moral shit like that, whilst also making the gameplay an absolute, like, hassle and a half. It's still a little loud. Apologize. But, like, it's like, why even bother, you know? Anyway. I remember you. When, oh god. Mary Ann Valentine. Who are you? Didn't show up for work today, I fear the worst, but it was a false alarm. I found her in her room crying uncontrollably. She explained between sobs that she had spotted her brother among the undead on the other side of her wall. She had hoped against hope that her brother had escaped the horse somehow, but there was no mistaking him. Now, I understand this event can be different, like differently worded, but like, put yourself in this position. You're just in your barracks or whatever, one of your people's crying, you ask what's wrong, and she says, oh, I saw somebody that I used to know out there, they're dead now. Why are my options to ask what she wants to do, kill the zombie, force her to kill the zombie, or ignore it? Like, what? It's not even relevant to what just happened here. Okay, alright, whatever. Anyway, make her do it. If I remember right, there's no real benefit or downside of that, other than the character being sad, I think. Killing it for them, all that does is force them to become your arch nemesis, because, you know, that makes sense. Asking what they do is completely pointless. It just says, I don't know, and then it kicks you back to these 3 options. And ignored is the only good one. What does it do? Nothing. It just reduces happiness for them. Oh, right. I pulled Mary away from the wall. Whoever that... We weren't at the wall! You see what I mean when I say this is bad? Whoever that used to be, I told her, that isn't him anymore. It's just a zombie that kind of looks like him. No more or less important than the thousands of other undead in the city. She seemed relieved to put off the confrontation. Hopefully the zombie will wander off on its own. Again, that wasn't relevant at all. This is bad. This is so bad. Oh, I failed to mention way earlier. I do have a couple of mods, but nothing too insane. There's the always find equipment, which is the only one that's genuinely insane. As the name implies, whenever you scavenge, you're guaranteed to find a piece of equipment. Why do I have that? Convenience's sake. Like, it doesn't actually make the game all that much more easy or anything like that. It's really just there for convenience. Perk buff, very similar. See, in this game, once a survivor reaches a skill level 3, 5, and 9, I think it is? Somewhere around there. You can talk with them, and then assign them a perk. This just makes it so it's at level 1, 2, and 3, because it's like, I'm not going to bother going through all that for a character that I'm likely not even going to keep, so, you know. Faster events, it just makes it so random events are more likely to happen, because spoilers, there's some events that need to happen for the story to continue, and you can very realistically end up waiting hundreds of in-game days and having nothing happen. And disable jump scare. Yeah, the final level in the game has a bunch of jump scares for no reason. Because, you know, that's what I want to fucking see. That's what I really want to see. Random jump scares in this... What do you even do? How would you describe this game? I don't know. Hard to say. Anywho, let's just keep going, I guess. Don't want to make the... We're already 15 minutes in, wow. Don't want to make the first part too lengthy, you know? Crash. An armor-plated school bus just went tearing down Main Street. Not sure why they were going so fast, but when they hit that newspaper stand, the thing really went flying. We can see the explosion from here. Looks like it took the entire graveyard with it. What? 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 An armor-plated school bus tears down the main street, hits a newspaper stand, and goes into the air, which I don't even think that's how physics work, nor gravity. It explodes and takes out the graveyard. The graveyard. The place that's just a flat, empty field with some tombstones in it. Okay, sure. Sure, game, sure. You know what? Quick question game logic-wise. Like, from a gameplay perspective, why is it building on rubble consumes like 3 times the amount of building materials? But building on a flat plane with nothing on it, or a graveyard that looked like this, like, why does this take the same amount as any other building, which is only like 2? That doesn't make any sense to me. I think we've long since established that the game doesn't make sense. Alright, let's just equip some stuff. I forgot to do this earlier. Chainsaw, nope. Nothing. Here we go. Weapon. Backpack. There you go. If you hear any weird noises, that's my dog. He walked in here and he's snoring. He's a loud snorer. Sorry if you hear that. Blood and Okay, you know how I said some random events become more common with that mod I have? Yeah, this is one of the ones that I shit you not, need to happen in order to get the good ending. We'll get to that when we get to it, but yeah. This needs to happen. Not this event specifically, they give you a cricket bat if you have a 812, you know, 7-Eleven, very key reference, but yeah, if you have an 812 in your city, which like we just started, so obviously not, then you get a cricket bat as a reward, which you need to, I shit you not, you need to trade to the trader. Yeah, we'll get to him when he shows up. And that's one of the 4 things you need to do on the same map to unlock one of the 3 things needed to get the good ending. We'll get to that when we get to that. I know I keep saying that, but just bear with it, I guess. Keep it at a max speed to get it a little faster. Distrust. Okay, this is one that, no matter what, literally no matter what, always rob him. Because for some reason, Sarah forgot to program a downside to that. If you choose ignore, nothing happens. If you choose help him, you lose 2 food, and then there's a 50-50 chance. He'll either give you 5 fuel, like what happened here, or you will lose 10 food or 5 food or whatever it is, and a random piece of equipment. Yeah. Yeah. But if you rob him, you always get 5 fuel no matter what. Very interesting. Lovely game design. I love it when the evil choice has no consequence whatsoever. Well, that was loud. No sweat. Did you know zombies can't swim? On a related note, we've got a swimming pool that needs emptying now. Again, take note of that, because there's going to be a later point where they say, oh, there's zombies gathered at the water, or they're in the water, we can't cross, or whatever. It's like, but I thought you said they can't swim, you know? Just keep all that in mind. This game's going to have a lot of contradictions. Survivor arrives. We found a woman not far from the gate. She said we shouldn't hide now from the zombies for days. Always invite to stay, because it's just free without any downside whatsoever. God, that is loud. Maybe my ears are just sensitive or something, I don't know. But yeah, and this is going on a long time. I might need to, I might need to make a second part. Just skip ahead a lot, which I really don't want to do. I want this to be full and unedited. Plus, it'll help for the gameplay footage when I do the critique eventually. Diane's gotten real bloodthirsty recently. What else is new? Always just give her 3. Always, whenever you get this event, just give them 3 because it gives them happiness and it clears out a random space somewhere nearby. And yeah, that's literally it. What happens if you give them 6? They hurt somebody and those 2 people become enemies. Because, you know, that makes sense. There's gonna be a lot of times there all along. Claiming this farm is like 5 jobs in 1. For this one, it's better to agree and then send someone to recruit. You know what, yeah, we'll do that. Just this once, we'll do that. Normally it's better to only do that if you have the perk, real estate developer, so that way you can claim buildings a lot faster, but just this once I'm going to do it before I can do that, just because we need more people. Hidden door. This is a 50-50. If you open the door, there's a chance you'll get some medicine and food, and if you seal the door, you get nothing. But if you open the door, there's also a 50% chance that a whole bunch of Zeb will come pouring out. I can't risk it anymore, and you'll lose one of your random things here. So yeah. Once we get more people, then this will go by. It's crazy how we're on easy mode in the tutorial. There's the trader. Gustav. Yeah, this is just some overly goofy Ukrainian man who just wants to make money or whatever. I don't know. I don't fucking know. There's the guy we were talking about earlier, the guy who joined us. Give me a fire axe. Yeah. Join the rest of the scavengers. Yeah, you know what? You can go over here. Defend. Reclaim that. This is another thing that's normally needed for the good ending, but the good ending is literally, one of the 3 events that's needed, otherwise known as the Monkey Blood questline. You'll find out why it's called that later. For this one, always choose Pet Store. Although it is pointless on this specific map because you literally can't do the Monkey Blood questline on the first level. Because you need other factions to be around and to exist in order to get stuff. What? When? You were not pregnant 4 seconds ago. What? Did I miss something on my events here? What? No, I did not. What? Okay, my builder just randomly become pregnant out of nowhere. Let me adjust myself in my chair here. Okay, well, you're my only fucking builder, so you're gonna have to work. What's the downside? Slightly unhappy. A big whoop. Oh yeah, that's another thing about this game in Rebuild, which is insanely annoying. You know how I said children are useless in this game and are literally just parasites? Don't take that out of context, by the way. But yeah, you know how I said children are useless in this game? Yeah, in this game, women can just... Muscle for hire. Yeah, 10. Get rid of that. Thank you. Yeah, women in this game can just randomly become impregnated. And I do mean randomly. Like, out of nowhere. For no rhyme or reason. Did they tell you who the father is? No. Apparently, according to Rebuild lore, women are capable of reproducing through mitosis, I guess. I don't get it. The zombie circus. Normally I'd do the 20 just for the extra happiness, but 2 because we don't have too much, and then just watch an horde and leave. Yeah. I'm getting a bit lazy with these events just because now they're starting to bombard me. That's what happens when the gameplay is incredibly sluggish in the beginning because you don't have the perks or tools or whatever to increase building speed. I think this is based off the creator Sarah Northway's actual dog, which would be nice, but yeah. Scavenge for that free med kit. Oh wait, you actually wait, what? I thought if you didn't have good skill, okay, sure. If you don't have good skill, that person's supposed to like just end up getting killed there, but okay, I guess that was just pure luck. Sure thing. Manually, never do the random because they will rip things out of hands. It really sucks, man. We're still building. Very slowly. Very sluggishly. I'm sorry, like, now I'm starting to run out of things to talk about. Rations, for now, regular. Just because we don't have too much food to go around at the moment. As I was saying, yeah, now I don't really have too much to say, because, now it's just... First day, I'm lonely. Yeah, me too, buddy. Okay, first of all, why is this dude an option? And second of all, I think I'll go with a girl who doesn't look like a trash bag full of mango pulp, so, nobody for now. Very interesting that that came up so quick. Like, I know I'm acting surprised when I have a mod that makes random events more likely to happen, but, like, I played this game a lot. I have, like, 1,000 hours in it. Alright, sorry for the awkward cut there. I had some, outside interference, so I had to cut the recording there. But I'm back now. Where were we? Ah, yes. Still on the very sluggish path of the... My cat just jumped up here. Hi. No, 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 no. No, Roxy. No, no. Get off my keyboard, damn it. Yes, yes, you're very adorable. Hi. You're very, very adorable. Hi, Roxy. Hi. Get off my computer. You're gonna ruin your eyes by getting that close to the screen. Get down. There you go. There you go. Good girl. Alright, where are we doing? Gambler's Run? Yeah, I don't have it. Decline. Okay. Back to the slogfest. Like, the game will massively speed up once you get real estate developer and programmer especially. Like, once you get the programmer perk, the game just becomes laughably easy. Okay, just gonna keep going. I mean, the only person injured is about ready to be healed, so accept 5. Oh, wait, right. Forgot about that. Got plenty of scavengers, though, at least, you know? Comes with its own benefits, I suppose. Look how fast I get through it all. Spray and pray, because it's basically a straight upgrade. Especially when you're not out actively killing zombies, but you're just like playing defensively at the wall and whatnot. It's just a straight upgrade at that point. I'm getting a bit lazy with these events now, I know. Just try my best to speed things up a little bit, you know? The Love Caravan! Gusan's... yeah. You know what's weird? They had a similar event like this in Rebuild 2, where if you did it, you got like plus 10 happiness. But here you get nothing, except for the opportunity to talk to one of them. Kathleen, yeah, and if you do this like 4 or 5 times, you then are given a side quest where you can like bargain with Gustav here to like let her go, and she joins her fort. And what's special about her? Literally nothing. She's literally just a regular generic survivor with not even a unique look either. She doesn't even get a unique design. She's just a random generic female survivor, and the only upside about her is the fact that she gets the artist perk. What's the artist perk? If you reclaim a square, there's a small chance you'll get a happiness bonus from it. Yeah, that's it. That's everything. Kind of not worth it, isn't it? Wedding bells. Hey, it's both the people that... Okay, that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Have a party. That's pretty funny. Not sure if there's really any advantage to that. I don't think there's any real difference. Oh well. Another defense. Let's see. Not really too much to talk about at the moment. Volunteer. I mean, on this map, volunteer will be fine enough because there's no other factions to deal with. How many more? No, really. How many more do we need? 2 more. Okay. At least that won't take too much longer. Might as well just sit here and wait, honestly. Stranger danger? Okay, you know, like, this is another one that has some advantages and disadvantages. If you do with open arms, there's a chance that every great now and then, a random survivor will just join you. The downside is you lose the ability to do any hostile actions. So like how you saw earlier with the distrust event, where, you know, you have to offer to help someone or rob them. You lose the ability to rob and can only help, which actually has an increased chance of them robbing you. A little screwed up. Caution is just the neutral one. And with hostility is easily the best one. You know why? Recruitment is quote-unquote less dangerous, and it says it's less likely to succeed. However, that's not how this works, and I think she just copied and pasted it from Rebuild 2. Because as long as you have the right amount of leadership skill, it's like New Vegas with speech checks. As long as you have the skill requirement, it's 100% guaranteed to work. So what's the downside? The downside is you don't get the open arms thing where every 3 blue moons somebody randomly joins you. Oh no, what a downside. And you also lose some overly passive abilities, such as helping the guy on the distrust thing, but I think that's kind of it. The advantages, however, are distrust will never have a downside, recruitment is less dangerous, and the absolute biggest advantage, you will never get the Slavers random event. We haven't gotten it yet, but once every, like, I don't want to say blue moon, but like once every like 20 in-game days, it feels like it is pretty common. Slavers will just show up, kidnap one of your survivors, and demand you pay 20 food to give them up, or they'll kill them. And it's very annoying to deal with. Very annoying. Incredibly annoying. So yeah, we're just gonna not let that happen. At least on this map, since there's no other factions. Scavenge everything. Always, no matter what, scavenge everything. There's no reason not to. This map, there's no other factions to deal with, so yeah. Oh boy, there's that can of worms that'll get me taken off the platform. We will get to this one where factions are actually established, so let's see which one. Stay safe, dust charge, do what they want. There we go. We'll get to this hot topic in the third city. Yeah, I had to think which one it was, because when the third, this is a policy that only has effects on 2 factions, as far as I'm aware. Even though it says it angers some implies more than 1, but it's only 2, and we'll get to those knuckleheads when we get to them. For now, we just gotta get City Hall up, and then we can get out of this shit show. And now we wait. Normally, I would reclaim that school right there and just put my guy in it and just massively power level leadership. But I think for now, I'm just gonna do it like this, so that way it gonna stay for now, so that way it doesn't take any longer than it has to. Oh right. Need to bring a few people with us. Valor, you're coming with me. Our only builder, you're coming with me. Wait, do we have a sledgehammer? We do. And then, I think the 4 politicians with me. Yeah. And I guess the highest offensive person we have here. Yeah, that's good. Multi-tooled Jerryman. Or Jeremiah. Yeah, that name. I'm a little dyslexic. Did I ever mention that I have partial dyslexia? I mean, this is gonna change in like 2 seconds anyway, so leader and senate for now, I guess. That's gonna change in like 2 seconds. Here we go. Start the Constitution. This is so stupid. Our highest priority. Well, what would your highest priority in the zombie apocalypse be? For me, it would be rebuild civilization. But our options here are trading and prospering, providing the religious moral center, very oddly worded, keeping people safe, which is pretty natural in a world like this, and repopulation, which again is kind of a no-brainer in a world like this. But since this is the tutorial world that we get to leave immediately and none of these effects have any reason to exist at all, and literally nothing is going to matter, you can just make it willy-nilly here and it won't matter, because you're going to the next city literally the second this closes anyway. So I guess we'll just try to be the most realistic here. Either one of these would work in this context. Repopulate, again, doesn't matter. Leader and Senate, I suppose. Keep their own. Those who actually put in the effort, kick them out. People we can trust. President Worm, Governor Worm, Prime Minister Worm, none of these really work. I guess President, why not? Okay, then me and 3 others, okay. 1, 2, 3, yep. Double check all the equipment. Looks good. And we can get out of this. You thought the game was, story-wise, was stupid yet? Like, not much has happened, and if you thought, oh yeah, it's definitely kind of dumb right now, it's about to get a whole lot dumber. Trust me. April 4th, 2018, constant reminder. Diane and I hiked up a hill to scout our route east. We looked down over that name, admiring the strong walls we built. Diane said we'd done well, but she could feel other towns out there that need our help. That was when she noticed the scar from my bite. What? It's been years since the first night of the outbreak, but I still carry this constant reminder. Girl, you mean to tell me that you knew this man for several months? And in gameplay, it can be way longer. You could just never leave this town and be here for literally years, and you never noticed that he has a scar on his arm? In what context would you notice it anyway? Anyway, I told her the story, all of it, and how I shot Sergeant Hester, how I waited for the fear that never came. She was horrified, pushed me away, and accused me of putting the whole fort in danger. You could still be infected. You could have spread it to others like me. Okay, they don't make it clear until later on, but it's established that the disease only spreads via fluids. So, saliva, blood, and I think they make a joke about STDs at one point. So, yeah, like, him just existing is not gonna spread it. It's not airborne. Anyway, plus that wouldn't even work. I know they don't know he's immune yet, but, like, still. Actually, no, you'd think he'd figure out pretty quickly that he's immune, but whatever. We were too busy arguing to hear zombies coming, because, you know, during the zombie apocalypse, the best place to have a quarrel is in the middle of the big wide open, out loud. Do they ever establish that zombies are attracted to loud noises in this game? I don't think they do. Anyway. Let your guard down for 1 second. Diane could have easily killed them all by herself with both hands tied behind her back, but she was so mad, and I was distracted. Ugh, this is so fucking dumb. I let one get too close to me. Diane saved my life, but she... I've seen a lot of people die, but this... Diane bled out my arm. Oh, dude, what about the soldier you killed? I'm pretty sure he bled out too. Whatever. She talked deliriously, mostly about her teenage son. Oh yeah, we never got to see that because I don't have Programmer. Yeah, if you have Programmer, you get the Survivor Management early. If you get Survivor Management, you get the stories early. And Diane is one of the very, very, very few NPCs in this game that has a unique story, but it's nothing special. It's just her saying, oh, I'm a tough ass, screw off. And then the second one is, you want to know my past? I used to be a cop. There, now leave me alone. And then part 3 is, I have a son. He's out there somewhere. I wish things weren't so bitter between us. And then that's it. So, honestly, you're not missing much. Anyway, she was so sure that he's still alive out there, so I promised to look for him as I move east. Don't know why you would, but okay. We didn't talk about my bite. Again, don't know why you would. My plans to move on haven't changed, but I guess I'm leading things now. I just hope I can live up to Diane's memory. Oh yes, this noble woman who I love so much, who I, the player and audience, have only known for maybe 5 minutes max. Seriously, I know so far we've taken up like maybe 30 minutes of gameplay here, but like you can't introduce a character, have them only speak like maybe 10 lines of dialogue, have us like play for like 5 minutes, and then kill them off. Like you can't do that. There's gonna be no emotional connection. There's gonna be no attachment. There's gonna be just a whole lot of nothing. Just utter nonsense. So bad. Such bad writing. Anyway, these are the scores. Completely all of this. Absolutely irrelevant. I know it gives you a score here, but the game never actually keeps track of it past this point, so it's just for your own amusement, I guess. Yeah. You know what? That'll do it for now. We'll pick this up in the second part. Tune in for City 2, Wenatachi.